It's the NFL on EA Sports, and there's no love lost between these NFC South foes. It's the Buccaneers and the Dirty Birds, and it's coming up next.
First opened in 2017, there's a look at the beautiful state-of-the-art Mercedes-Benz Stadium here in Atlanta, GA. Brandon Gaudin and Charles Davis on hand. Kickoff just moments away. Charles, quickly, keys to the game.
For me, it's coaching. Who prepared his team the best going into this one to give them the confidence to believe that they would win the game? That's who's going to come out of this one on top.
Has this one teed up, and we are underway from Atlanta. And they will wrangle it down a couple yards shy of the 30. So out come the Bucs now for their first drive. Under center, it's the 2017 Heisman Trophy winner as you get a look at Baker Mayfield.
And he's a guy who plays with a lot of emotion. He's learned how to channel it really positively because when he throws the football downfield and makes a big play, he'll be the first guy downfield to celebrate with you. But also, when his team needs that confidence, when they need that jolt, they turn to him, and he's ready to provide it.
They'll start on the ground with Irving. And he works his way forward to pick up 4 yards there, second down.
Well, on every play call, you realize it's not going to go for a touchdown. So a lot of your calls are setting things up for maybe later in the game, trying to establish the inside run with toughness now, hopefully get to the perimeter later. And let's face it, you could do worse than a 4-yard run on first down.
Mayfield to throw it. It's caught by Mike Evans. Down the left sideline. And he's going to get it all the way down to the 10-yard line. A big play there on the catch and run. 58 yards.
And the offense is saying to itself right now, only they were all this easy because he was wide open. And once he made the catch, plenty of room to work his way downfield. That was a breakdown on the defensive side of the ball, one that they want to fix immediately.
So not quite a first and goal. It's first and 10 from the 10. Baker going to give it to Irving. Powers through. And he'll be brought down here at the 3-yard line. It's a gain of 7 on the ground. Second down coming up. If these kinds of lanes are available, you have to feel like he's going to have a pretty big game on the ground.
Yeah, you can tell early on he's got a little burst in his step, and that's a big pickup right there on first down.
Now second and 3. They'll stay on the ground with Irving. And he'll take it into the end zone. Touchdown, Tampa Bay. Bucky Irving. A 3-yard touchdown run. And the Bucs get the upper hand as they're on the board first here this afternoon. Well, that was a quick drive. The passing game set it up, and then the running game finishes it off.
And how about how few plays it was to get it done, but they threw it downfield and then pounded it into the end zone. And as a former defender, I can tell you, it hurts just a little bit more when they run it into the end zone instead of throwing it.
Chase McLaughlin on for the extra point. And that one gives the Bucs a 7-0 lead. Just a 4-play drive that time. And it ends with a 3-yard scoring run. Following the touchdown, here's McLaughlin to kick off. And they'll get him down inside the 30 at the 27. And now it looks like he's in some discomfort after being tackled at the end of that return. So as the medical staff takes a look, we'll step aside. To the air, Penix. Oh, the Buccaneer pressure too much. Down he goes. It looks like a 12-yard loss there on the first down sack.
Okay, partner, a couple points of interest right here, all right? Offensively, we see that they came out throwing the football, but maybe more importantly, the blitz that came defensively, they got right after him.
And you were telling me pregame before we came on air, you think this is something we could see a lot.
Yeah, there's no doubt about it because this is a unit that wants to play the game on their terms.
That huge loss on the sack makes this job much more difficult. It's now 2nd down and 22 yards to go. Got a man, it's London. We'll see what kind of mindset they have here offensively after giving up the touchdown on the opening drive.
And based on our time with them, prior to this game, I feel like they've got a good mindset going in. In fact, the discussion that we had with the coaching staff was, we may give up some points in this game, so our offense has to be ready each and every time to either equal or try and get us ahead and try and keep us ahead. This is their chance to respond to that first touchdown given up.
He's got his target. That's complete. And he is going to have a Falcons first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
Well, I think when they look at their offense, they think to themselves, weapons everywhere, and they want to move the ball around. They want to spread it to different people. But you absolutely know they want to get this man involved as well, and that's what they just did on that play.
First carry of the game now for the Texas superstar, Bijan Robinson. And some nifty running here as he'll take this across midfield and down to the 47. Another nice gain, 13 yards that time, and another first down.
A good run there off right tackle in an old-school NFL football. The right side of the offensive line, often known as the nasty side. The left side, usually the technical side. Kind of reminds me of the old Atlanta Falcons 2009-2010. That's how they constructed their offensive line.
And a 5-yard gain gets him to the 42.
And there wasn't much room for the big tight end to do much after the catch. But at least he was able to pick up a solid gain to help his offense continue to move in the right direction.
From the 42-yard line, here's 2nd down and 5. Robinson, he'll try the left side. And a nice run. They're going to take this close to the first down marker at the Bucs 37. After a gain of 5, they'll wind up being about a length of the football short here on 3rd down.
A quick burst there, and he nicely bit off a pretty decent gain.
Play number 7 coming on this drive. It's 3rd and inches. And looking to throw, Penix. That is caught. And this is going to lead to another first down as the tackle's made at the Bucs' 25-yard line. Give them 12 yards on that one. It earns them a fresh set of downs. They clearly wanted to come out, Charles, and be aggressive throwing the football, and they've been pretty efficient along with that aggressiveness. He's now 4 of 4 on this opening drive.
Yeah, and that's led to a fresh set of downs. I like what he's doing back there. You can tell he's at ease, feels good about what he's doing. I think if I'm the play caller, I'm reading that, and I'm continuing to let him throw the football.
Short throw caught by Pitts. Short completion, just 4 yards, and that'll bring up 2nd down. We've seen quite a bit of the short passing game here early on first quarter, haven't we?
We have, and I think it works a couple of ways for this team because, number one, you throw the short game until they stop it. And if they're not going to stop it, you keep throwing it, and occasionally you'll break a tackle and turn into a bigger gain. Also, if they start to creep up, start to pressure receivers, now you go over the top, take it deep, and now you get some of those big shots downfield.
No gain on the play there, so they're left with a 3rd down and 6. When we talk about defenders, specifically linebackers, keeping their eyes in the right spot, he had that eye down the entire time.
And you know that's not easily done because they throw a lot of misdirection at you. They try and fool you and get your eyes in the wrong place. But you're right about that one. He correctly figured that one out and made a really nice play.
And the Falcons are going to have first and goal as they try to finish off this drive with 6 points.
It's all pretty simple sometimes, isn't it? Go where the defenders are not, and he does exactly that. Makes a nice catch to move the chains. Defense, got to find a better way of accounting for the shorter routes that are being run against them.
Now Penix. This to Pitts, and he's got him. Touchdown, Atlanta. A 5-yard touchdown catch, and the Falcons are able to match the opening drive touchdown against them with one of their own.
We're still in the first quarter, but it's apparent they're going to have to come up with a different defensive game plan for him because right now he's kind of having his way against that defense and has added a touchdown to the list. How do you slow him down? They're going to have to mix up some coverages, maybe change who's guarding him.
Point after here coming up. It's up and good. So these teams match touchdowns here in the first quarter, and we're tied 7-7. A pretty long drive that time. 11 plays all told. And it was the tight end Kyle Pitts finishing it all off on the touchdown reception. Each team's had it. Each team has scored. 7-7 here as the kick's away. And they'll start this drive just across the 30. Pretty nice work on the return. Tampa Bay, they're getting ready to set up shop here for their second drive. So both of these teams, Charles, coming off touchdowns now, but this offense, they just had to stand on the sideline, watch their opponent author a really impressive drive to reach the end zone.
Yeah, and I think you're not telling yourself the truth if you don't think there's some one-upsmanship going on right now because they just had their touchdown answered by a drive of double-digit plays that also found the end zone. Now they want to do something even more impressive to answer that one.
That's caught by Durham. And just 3 yards on the catch there. He couldn't get away. And it'll be second down. 7-7, our score after one. Second quarter now, and it's Buccaneer football as they've got it 2nd and 7. And they'll send the tight end in motion here. A run up the middle with Irving. And he'll rumble for about 5, up close to the 40.
I think we all suspected that they were going back to him after he found the end zone on his last carry. And they kept the positive momentum going there. Another nice run by him.
3rd and 2. They'll try and run here with Irving. And he's going to have a first down as he's brought down at the 44-yard line. Able to get what they need to keep the drive going with a 6-yard pickup on 3rd down.
I don't know about you, but that almost felt like old-time football there. 3rd and 2 is not necessarily just a running down anymore. A lot of times they want to throw the ball. They went back to the roots and powered forward and got the first down.
To throw, Mayfield. And this is caught by Evans. His second catch. This one not quite as dynamic as his first. And it's 2nd down.
He decided to run a hitch route. It really helped to have a guy who can turn it loose. And, boy, he rifled one in there on that one. Not much run after catch, but it worked really well.
Ball right on the 50-yard line. Here's a 2nd and 4. They run out of the gun with Irving. And tackled down after a gain of 3. Leaves him with 1 yard to go on 3rd down. That's some good tackling there to keep him short of that yellow line.
Yeah, defensively, all I'm thinking is that on that play, get me to 3rd down. Get me into a position where I can make one more play and get my defense off the field.
Here now, 3rd and a yard. throwing, Mayfield. And he's got his man on the out route. So no gain on the play, and that's going to make it 4th down.
Excuse my snarkiness here, but isn't the idea of completing a pass supposed to mean you get downfield and gain yards?
Especially on 3rd down.
Yeah, that one. How about the defense? Figured that one out in a big way. Yeah, they completed it all right and lost yardage.
Dixon, the punter, is on as he sends it away. And that'll hit at the 5 and go into the end zone for a touchback. Their quarterback leading this offense back out. He was a perfect 7 of 7 on that opening drive, the 7th being the touchdown pass. And they'll start here with a 1st and 10. Looking to throw, Penix. And he's got it past the 30 before he's hit and dropped. Nothing open downfield. He keeps it himself for 11 and a 1st down.
That's the first time he's called his own number, but he's got to be overjoyed with the results. He wasn't just going to settle for a modest gain. To me, he was determined to come through with a big message to a defense that slept on him in the pocket.
They'll throw with Penix. That's to the right sideline, and it falls incomplete.
No sense risking anything there on 1st down. Even though he's still in the pocket, he had a receiver out to his side, so just put that in a spot where the only people who can make a play on it are the trainers and the coaches. Well done.
Now a 2nd and 10. Here's Penix. Over the middle, caught by London. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. 3rd catch of this 1st half for him, and this one is a 1st down.
And that's a more than acceptable read right there because it's zone coverage, so timing is everything. This time he waits for his man to come open, puts it right on him, and they pick up a 1st down.
Back to throw now on 1st down. And that one too far in front. He couldn't reel it in. It's incomplete.
Offense was moving it a little bit, had them back on their heels, but they earn a brief pause by forcing the incompletion. That gives them a quick chance to regroup and try and mount a stand before they're backed up even further.
2nd and 10. Penix to the air once more. Kadero Hodge has it complete. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. His 1st catch of the game, good for 11 and a 1st down.
And that play came together really well for them as he found open space, makes the catch, and gets down to the 1-yard line. You know he's kicking himself right now. He thought he had a chance to get a touchdown and put that in his ledger. Instead, his team gets a chance to cash in.
Nowhere to go here. He lost the football, and it's picked up by the Buccaneers. And they have the football and will set up shop at the 33-yard line. And a defensive-minded coach loves to turn up the heat, turns it up there, and pays off.
And back in the good old days, those defensive-minded coaches just talked about intimidating teams, using force, right, beating them to the punch. In this case, they're talking about creating turnovers. That's all they preach, all game long, all practice long, every meeting. Get the football. That's what they want.
So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33. Mayfield now after the fumble recovery. He completes it to Evans. And he'll be out of bounds as he gets it down to the 30 there. So just 3 yards on the completion there. And it'll be 2nd down. And Mayfield just getting the play off. And a quick throw here, that's complete. Only able to gain a couple there. And now it's 3rd and 4.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
Mayfield. And this pass broken up. And the contact well timed there, and now 4th down.
Like what I see so far out of this defense, because they've been showing their best coverages on 3rd down. So far, only allowed 1 conversion on a handful of attempts. One area of their game plan that they've executed to perfection.
And this one is right through. And they take the lead here now at 10-7. So the fumble recovery had them set up in ideal field position, but they can muster only 3 points out of it.
Yeah, when you're able to force turnovers, especially when it results in field position like they had, you really want to make it hurt. Here, they take the field goal. That's definitely not what they were hoping for.
After the made field goal, here's McLaughlin back out there to kick it away. And a decent return out to the 27-yard line. Here comes the Atlanta offense now ready to take over here. And last time they coughed it up, led to a field goal. They're fortunate that it only led to a field goal, but still, they're not happy about it.
Could you sense the relief, though, when they only gave up the field goal and they were able to trot back out on the field and start this drive? A little more pep in their step because they didn't cost their team a touchdown, but they know they've got to do it a lot better than they did on the last possession.
The coach will just be relieved, though, if they recoup with a score here, right?
I think the coach would be ecstatic to see them pick themselves back up and now take it downfield and punch in the end zone without turning it over.
He'll get this into the hands of Hodge. And they're going to have this across midfield and inside the 45. So the big play gets him across midfield now for 1st and 10. Now back to throw. Targeting Pitts on the out route, and he's got it complete. And he'll be out just a yard or two shy of the 30. That's over 40 yards of movement with those last 2 plays. Well, that's always a good place to throw it just because he's one of the biggest targets not only on this team but in the National Football League.
And you and I both know the quarterbacks love these large-bodied tight ends, and why not? Nowadays, they're really wide receivers who are just taller and have a little bit more width.
And it's out. He put it on the carpet. And it's picked up by the Buccaneers. And his guys will take over at the 25-yard line.
Whenever I see a team turn it over on back-to-back drives, fumbles on their last 2, I know one person's blood pressure who is starting to rise, and that's the head coach.
Absolutely. And when's it going to go down? When they stop fumbling?
When they stop fumbling and after he's assessed the game film, and only if they manage to win the game.
And Tampa Bay trots out there now. And they split the uprights last time for 3. They've got the lead. They're not going to play this conservative. They're not hoping for another field goal. They're hoping for a touchdown.
I'm with you on that one. I like where your head is. I like the way you're thinking because you're exactly right. Trying to sit on a lead and play that way, that doesn't work too well for most teams. Run your offense. Run what you do best. Exactly. Put it all the way down and try to increase your lead in a big way. And the best way to do it, touchdowns.
That one almost intercepted, but it's incomplete. Not a good throw there, and it'll be 2nd down. Mayfield now. Incomplete.
Well, so far in this drive, they've done some good work. They force incompletions on 1st and 2nd down, bring up 3rd and 10. That brings up the big question. Do they bring pressure or do they play coverage on this down?
Now they face a 3rd and 10 after back-to-back incompletions. Straight ahead, it's Irving. And this effort will not get it done. He stopped well short of the 1st down at the 29. fourth down, so on is the punter, Riley Dixon. Fair catch called for and taken right near the 30-yard line. Yeah, call it 38 yards on the punt, no return.
And it will be Falcon football.
Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10. They'll try and start this drive in the air.
Throws to his man on the out route. It's complete. That's Robinson.
And he'll be tackled right on the chalk of the 45. First down yardage on the first play of the drive, 14 yards.
Any questions of how they'd approach this drive were answered right there. They come out throwing, and they get a nice pickup here toward the end of the first half.
Now on first down, he'll drop to throw it. Firing quickly here, and that's complete. And he's out of bounds as he gets this down to the 45. And that's good for a pickup of 10 yards. And they'll be left with a second and about a foot. Back to throw. And an incomplete pass. That'll stop the clock here with just under a minute to play in half number 1.
Had an open man that time, but ended up putting a little too much heat on it, don't you think, partner?
Absolutely. Just needed a touch more air under it. Instead, he fired an absolute bullet. An incomplete pass on second down leads us to 3rd and inches.
To throw again is Penix. Pass to the sideline and pulled in.
By the skin of their teeth, they are able to convert on 3rd and inches.
And Brandon, from our time in college football, where receivers weren't running the traditional NFL route tree, one thing they did learn, find open areas, find soft spots, and set up and catch the ball. And I think we just saw that there.
Yeah, we saw that indeed, picking up the first.
Penix working out of the gun here.
The escapability in evidence there is that one good for 15 and a first. The Falcons going to use the second of their timeouts as the clock stops here with 46 seconds remaining in the first half.
To the air, Penix. And that one drops down, incomplete. Good coverage there, forced the ball free, and it's second down.
That is the first time that they've targeted him that he has not come down with a catch.
He's caught everything that's been thrown his way, a dominant pass receiver that can break down any defense, because when he's doing that kind of work, it really hurts you on the back end.
And even though it's an incompletion there, I think they're going nowhere to turn here, and he's going to go down. Back at about the 37-yard line. They push him back 8 yards that time on second down.
These sacks now, they're starting to pile up, Charles. And that front seven defensively, they've had their way with this offensive line.
And I think at this stage, we have to start thinking about different play calls. We've got to start helping this quarterback out because the entire game he's been under siege. I don't care what the down and distance. They've got to get the ball out of his hands a lot quicker.
A long way to go here on third down for the 8th play of the drive. Looking to throw. And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20. And we're going to get a timeout with 2 seconds remaining in the second quarter. So with 2 ticks left here in the half, on is the field goal unit. A 33-yarder from the left hash.
Koo knocks this one through the post.
And that will do it for this first half. So we have reached halftime here and a good one. 10-10 is our score. As we'll send you down to Orlando and we check in with Jonathan Coachman for our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
We thought this one would be a close battle coming in, and we have not been disappointed. They're all even to this point. This has the feeling of a game that could go right down to the wire. One mistake or one big play could turn out to be the difference.
Okay, Coach, yeah, adjustments likely going to play a big role in this third quarter in what's been a tight contest so far. And ready to get the party started for the second half. It was an even first half, all tied on the scoreboard. And he takes this near the 25. Just a little pass there. Call it the 26. The Falcons offense and Michael Penix set to take over once more. And it's been a struggle for him all afternoon. This defense has really done a nice job of making him earn everything he gets. And it's prevented him from getting into any kind of rhythm here today. About set to begin their next drive, the Falcons offense at the line. Well, the first half, very even. I mean, really, in all facets, this ball game tied, Charles. So as we start the third quarter, curious to see what the second half brings us.
Certainly am. I'm with you on that one. And we all know a lot of coaches from the NFL all the way down to the Pee Wee level. They love to submit it to their teams. Hey, we're starting a brand new, shorter ball game. It's all even. Let's go out and seize it. This is ours.
And looking to throw, Penix.
Throwing the out route incomplete. That's Robinson. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. It's a gain of 13 and a first down for Atlanta.
And that's the kind of play this offense needs to maybe kick them into gear a little bit. They've been stuck in neutral much of the game. Perhaps that can give them a little bit of confidence that big plays are out there.
On 1st and 10, it's Robinson. And a nice job to break free of one tackle, but it slowed his momentum somewhat, and he's taken down right after.
5 yards on the carry. Good pickup on first down.
I'd say they've got to find a way to get him going. He's such a big part of their offense. I wonder if they might throw it a little and come back to the run.
Anything, because you're right. He's pretty much been completely neutralized. On 2nd down, another shot for Robinson.
He'll be taken down at the 48 for a pickup of 2 yards.
Well, they're hoping that the second half is better for him than the first half. They've got to find a way to get him going. He's a big part of their offense.
They'll come up now, 3rd and 3.
They'll set up a throw.
Pass taken in by his big tight end. And he's going to have a Falcons first down. They needed 3. He doubled that. He got 6.
And the tight end is certainly a position built to move the chains because they can control space underneath. If they've got good hands, then, of course, they're a dynamic target. But one other thing is they're right in the sight lines of a quarterback on just about every play. And that makes it easier for the quarterback to pick him out and deliver.
He'll get a nice chunk there on the first down run, and it's 2nd and 4.
Getting had a ton of success here so far, but you get the feeling that he might be on the verge of popping one.
Yeah, even on that one, there was a little bit of a hole, but it closed there quickly at the end. They'll come up on a 2nd and 4 now from the 40-yard line. Now Penix. Room to maneuver at the 35.
And he gets us down inside the 35 before going out of bounds.
Just his 2nd catch of the game so far. This one moves the chains.
A little football 101 there. You just see the receiver trying to run down the defender, meaning he goes right at him and really trying to move him a little bit towards the center of the field so he can put his foot in the ground and break to the out, to the sideline, and make a catch.
Now he's tackled a yard short of the marker. Good gain of 9 on first down.
Well, he's proven real effective running the football. No one open, don't force it. Just get what you can, and that's what he's done very well in this game.
Just need a yard here, 2nd and 1. A give to Robinson on the option. And he'll be brought down at the 21, just shy of the 20 in the red zone. 4 yards the pickup, 1st down.
2nd and 1, and people want to run the football. This is where every back in the league is supposed to do exactly what we just saw there. Pick up the 1st down.
Back to Robinson now on 1st down.
And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up 2nd and 11.
That was well played there defensively. 2 tight ends in the formation, which essentially gave them 7 blockers up front. Hard to imagine with all that size and beef that they could let a tackler through, but that's exactly what happened. A loss resulted.
Now they'll switch it up here and look to throw. Over the middle, that's caught by McLeod. They'll wind up getting 10 back as that sets them up for 3rd down.
As long as you go through your proper reads and progressions, the drag route can be one of those old reliable plays because usually it's good for a good chunk of yardage as we just saw there.
And those guys like it, right? They can get the ball with a full head of steam.
Especially against man coverage, because man coverage, they're typically running away from someone and not worried about traffic coming out on the other end.
Able to find the open man. That's complete. It's a 1st down, his 4th catch of the game after having 3 in the 1st half.
Would it be safe to say that as precise as routes are supposed to be run in the NFL, maybe they're not quite as precise in college ball?
That's accurate, yeah.
And I think we saw a college route in the NFL there. Just find the soft spot, find the dead zone, and find the 1st down. And that's what he just did.
Back to the ground with Robinson.
And they go the wrong way on this one. Losing yardage back at the 12.
He'll lose a yard there, and it's 2nd and 11.
Early down stuff's to put this offense in a precarious position. We know that securing the point of attack, especially against the big-bodied guys in the middle of this D, has got to be priority 1.
Maybe just a slight detour on what's been a strong drive. Here's 2nd and 11.
Option play. Here's Robinson.
Down to the 6-yard line on a pickup of 6 as he gets halfway to the goal line.
On a 2nd and long, it's really nice to see an offense that has enough confidence to run the football in that situation. I think that goes back to their practice and game planning. They've seen things that they've seen on tape and in previous games that led them to believe that even in a long-distance situation, they can still run the football and gain enough yardage to put themselves in a good spot on 3rd down.
Steps away to his left. And it's not going to be enough here. A gain of 4, about 2 feet short of the marker, 4th down. He'll wind up getting 4 yards there on his own, but it also brings up 4th down. So the scoring dried up here in the 3rd. Nothing that quarter for either side.
You're watching the NFL on EA Sports.
Back now in Atlanta. All even as we get ready to start the 4th. So the field goal unit is on the field as this is a big spot right here. This to break our 4th quarter tie.
Koo knocks this one through the post.
And they will take the lead at 13-10. So the drive here ends with a field goal. It does give them the lead, but this one's still certainly a long ways from over.
It definitely puts a lot of pressure on your defense to hold the lead, right? They're happy to have it and happy to be out there trying to do so. But I know as a former player, in the back of their mind, they're thinking, why don't you score the touchdown and seal this thing?
The punter Pinion now to kick this one away.
And he'll take it up past the 25 to the 26-yard line.
And Tampa Bay trots out there now.
And now they find themselves trailing following the field goal. Still a good amount of time in this 4th quarter, but this drive very well could determine the outcome of this ball game. Now Mayfield and the Bucs come up on 1st and 10 at their own 26. In motion left, Godwin. Here's Mayfield. There's a short one taken in by Otten. And he's able to get this one up to his 30 before he's out of bounds. The result, only 4 yards there on the play. And it's second down.
And there's a completion to the tight end. And look at the size of these players nowadays. At that spot, 6'4", 6'5", and up. A lot of guys used to be basketball players, somehow came back to football. And that's really good for the game of football. You're getting better athleticism, great hand-eye coordination, guys who know how to control their bodies when they run their routes. That was a nice job defensively of disguising their coverage and making it difficult for the quarterback to lock in on the receiver, and it results in an incomplete pass.
And this offense on third down today, they've only converted once in 4 tries. This will be 3rd and 6. And that will be incomplete. Fair to say, it hasn't been his best game throwing the football, but also not getting a lot of help out there either.
Yeah, you nailed it pretty well, you know. He's got to throw it better. Got to get more help. Obviously, one that should have been caught. They got to find a way to bring those 2 elements together so they can make some progress in this one.
On 4th down, the punt team is on as this is sent away. A 40-yard punt, no return. And the Falcons will be taking over 1st and 10. Atlanta now coming out on the field. Their defense got the stop, forced the punt, and now you really start to monitor the clock as they nurse this slim lead. They begin the drive with Robinson. He'll get a yard, that's all, as they get him down at the 28.
And for the defense, this is a spot where you don't want to totally sell out to stop the run, but you do have a pretty good idea of what you're going to see. And that's good work right there to keep them in check on that 1st down carry.
2nd and 9. They'll throw with Penix. Got a man, it's London. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. 5th catch of the afternoon, and that gives him a 1st down.
I think that's a big pickup for a 1st down because when you run a drag route against zone, you're sometimes asking for trouble because you might run into a defender.
Yeah, well, there they ran into a 1st down. Executed it to perfection. Looking to throw, Penix. And look at this. They get the turnover they needed. It's intercepted. And they take over. They'll set up shop at the 46-yard line. So a nice play defensively by the rookie coming up with the INT.
And that's a late-round pick right there, making a first-round impact. And a lot of these day 3 corners, they end up winding up on special teams and sub-packages and even on the practice squad. But he's really made an impact on this defense, and he comes up with the interception there.
Here comes the Tampa Bay offense now heading back out onto the field. A golden opportunity for them now following the interception. They need to try to at least get 3. Obviously, a touchdown puts them in a much more secure position. And they'll send the slot in motion left. Following the interception, Mayfield. He finds his target. It's Evans. They'll give him 4 yards there, and that'll make it 2nd down. One thing I think that's safe to say defensively, the tackling's been really good.
And because of that, it's been very, very hard for them to move the ball because you're not getting the benefits of run after catch. They're tackling them almost on the spot. That means they have to run extra plays, harder to move it.
On 2nd down, here's a keeper by the QB. And he probably should have given that one off as he's going to get hit and taken down behind the line. That's a big loss of 3, and it brings up 3rd down. And not a lot of success to be found there.
Oh, you got that right, partner, because if you're trying to make guys miss about 10 yards or so downfield, that's a pretty good play. But if you've got to do it in your own backfield, I consider that a problem. That doesn't work too well.
offense.
That flag accepted, and it backs the offense up a little bit.
Still third down.
After the delay, they're backed up even further for 3rd and long. They'll bring a receiver in motion right. Mayfield now from the 50. Over the middle into traffic, and that's complete. And he can only get this to the 42-yard line, and that is not near enough. So 8 yards on the completion there, and that'll bring up 4th down.
And I think he just wanted to get the ball to one of his playmakers to see if they can make something happen, but he ends up throwing into a crowded area, and after the catch, he isn't able to do much with it.
And on 4th down, on is the punt team sending this one away.
The Falcons offense and their quarterback headed out for this next possession. And he has been masterful so far in leading this offense. He's kept the mistakes to a minimum. He's been on point with his passes, and he's generally been one step ahead of this defense all game long. The Atlanta offense out there for their next drive. So now, Charles, this drive maybe a touch more important, trying to erase the memory of that interception they had the last time out.
Yeah, and everyone goes through this because even the best in the game, you're going to have games where it just doesn't go right for you, and interceptions result. So, frankly, to me, it's all about how you respond, not just the types of plays that you call, but how you carry yourself, how you show your team that you're still with it, and how you continue to lead.
It's getting cold in here, partner, because it looks like he's trying to ice this one away. Yeah, I know, bad dad joke, but what the heck, right? Scrambling for that first after the D blanketed his receivers, that's a backbreaker for the defense. They finish this drive off with 6, and this one could be over.
Robinson gets the toss on the right side.
And he is going to lose yardage here. Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up 2nd and 11.
I think as a running back in this spot, you have to understand there's not going to be a whole lot of room to run. And in this case, ball protection takes precedent over trying to make something happen.
Clock continuing to run. They'll probably wind this all the way before snapping it on 2nd down. Again, it's Robinson. He'll be hit down at the 33, 5 yards on the play. The recipe's pretty simple, I think, right? You just give your superstar the ball, continue to feed him.
Yeah, don't overthink this one, right? Make sure he's touching the football, but you're also counting on his intelligence in playing the game as well. If it's not there, don't force the run. Just make sure you hang on to the football and keep the clock ticking.
Here's Penix.
Sets up the screen to Robinson. And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled.
For as many sacks as this defense has, you can understand their willingness to try and get upfield and get another. So what a really smart play call here to use their aggression against them, go with the screen, and they're able to get the first down.
Three points separating these two sides with 2 minutes left to go in the 4th. So it's Falcon football as we welcome you back. And not totally home free yet, but it's looking good as they come up 1st and 10.
On the counter, this is Robinson. Knifes his way forward here, but just 3 yards on the play. 2nd down. He's going to get it again. Just looking to get forward and protect the ball.
And quickly, we're going to get another stop here with 1:54 left as they call the timeout defensively. Now play number 7 of this drive, but it's a tough 3rd and 9. They're going to look to throw.
Throwing left sideline there, but it's incomplete.
I see the surprise in your face there, partner. That is a rare incompletion from him. He's been on point this entire game.
He has percentage completion-wise way up, not that time. Here's Bradley Pinion now as he's on to punt for the first time this afternoon. This is away, but boy, headed straight for the sidelines. And no return here. Where will they spot it? They say just outside the 20-yard line. So Mayfield and the Bucs down 13-10, a minute 45 to play. How will this thing pan out? We'll watch as they come up on first down. Now Mayfield. And that's complete. It's Chris Godwin. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield.
Oh, and how important could that play be in determining a winner here? That moves the ball all the way to the other side of the field, and now you're one completion away from at least getting into field goal range to tie things up. But with the time remaining, they've still got a shot to win this as well.
Complete right side to Otten. And he's going to be out of bounds, but not before he takes it inside the 40.
It didn't check off every box, but the most important one. Got the clock stopped, getting out of bounds. It may be a little short of the first down, but I thought that was the key.
Now second down and a few inches. Mayfield. And he can't get a throw off. He's taken down. What a huge play at this point in the game. Finally hauled down for the first time this game. Multiple defenders in there to drop him.
Exactly what they were looking for. They've been giving up yardage. They've been letting them drive right downfield, but they got a sack right there. How about that for a little bit of revenge?
Being chased out, and he can't get a throw away. He's taken down. Multiple players getting home there, and it's a loss of 2 on the sack.
Well, when this drive began, the offense only needed a field goal, but the defense ramped up the pressure, and after back-to-back sacks, they're feeling confident they might keep them off the board.
Too far for a field goal. They've got to go. It's 4th down. Desperation time. Mayfield on 4th down. Over the middle, he finds Godwin complete. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. The Bucs forced to use their 3rd and final timeout as they stop it with 22 ticks to go in the 4th. This offense cannot stop the clock now. No timeouts remaining as they come up here first down. Mayfield. Forced out to his left. This is caught by Evans. And he's out of bounds. Almost gets to the 10. And he did exactly what they needed him to do, Charles. Got out of bounds. They have no timeouts.
And they knew that before the play even began. Still executed it. How many times have we seen it happen where you know it, yet a guy's still looking for a timeout or trying to stay in bounds? He got it done.
Now the Falcons going to use one of their timeouts. It's just their first. They've got 2 more to use here in the final stages. So here we go. Maybe the biggest kick of the game forthcoming. This to potentially send us to overtime. And his kick is indeed good, and that will tie this game here in the final minute of play. So in the final minute, they turn it over to their kicker to get him back to even, and he does not disappoint.
Brandon, do you think the pressure ever gets to this guy? Because I sure don't. That was pretty smooth right there. But I tell you, he better not rest on his laurels because there's a good chance they may need him again if this game goes to overtime.
This one, all we could have asked for. All tied, final minute as the kick's away here. Now Jamal Agnew from his end zone. And makes it across the 20 as his guys will set up shop at the 23-yard line.
This is 1st and 10.
They'll start this drive out on the ground. And a short gain there as he'll get it up only to about the 24. So 4 quarters wasn't enough, and we are off to overtime. Don't change that dial.
So the Bucs going to have a chance to go down and win it. They'll get the ball first here in overtime. And out a little across the 25 to the 27.
And Tampa Bay trots out there now. Their drive last time, it stalled out. They were forced to take the short field goal.
And the key phrase, you nailed it, forced to, because you know coaches look at these short field goals as a last resort, right? To them, that's not how drives are supposed to end. You're supposed to put 6 on the board. That's a consolation prize. Like going to the county fair, you don't get the big stuffed animal on that one, do you?
No, you don't go top shelf. That's bottom shelf material.
Throwing, Mayfield. This one taken in by Otten.
And he's going to get a solid gain of 9 before being brought down. 2nd and right at a yard.
And his play caller does a nice job of giving him an easy throw to start this drive, and he takes advantage of it. The completion sets up a manageable 2nd down.
Opening drive of overtime. Both teams will get a possession, barring a defensive score. Here's 2nd down. Now Mayfield. Finding Otten once more.
2 yards on the pickup, and that's all they needed to move the sticks. A little dinking and dunking that they're doing. At some point, is it appropriate to maybe take a shot?
It is if you feel good about it. But otherwise, you do what a coach told me a long time ago. Take what they give you, but make them tackle. In other words, get it to one of your guys in space. If he makes someone miss, that could turn into the big play you're looking for.
To throw, Mayfield.
And that's off the mark, incomplete. Another nice job there defensively. They've really stymied their passing attempts, and it continues in overtime.
And for them to do that, that means they've had to be cohesive on defense. Pressure in the quarterback's face, good coverage of not just the wide receivers, but the tight end, the running backs when they try and slip out, and making sure they're at the point of attack. When the ball's in the air, they get there and help force some of those incompletions.
That his throw is incomplete.
Nice back-to-back plays defensively. They're stacking momentum now. 1 incompletion, 2 incompletion. They're going for more.
In need of a 3rd and 10 conversion to keep this opening drive of OT alive.
Going to the air again with Mayfield.
And he's got his man in stride, complete.
And he is going to have the Buccaneers 1st down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
The goal for any offense versus a zone defense, find the holes where guys are available and put the ball on the receiver before any defender can step up and fill it.
They did it well there. Perfectly executed crossing route. From Falcon territory now, here's 1st and 10 at the 46.
Now a give, Irving running right. And he'll work down inside the 45.
Watching that play unfold and watching him complete it brought back memories of doing all those pursuit drills to make sure you don't over-pursue and let a guy get a cutback lane on you. He did that very well.
You praised him on tape yesterday for the angles that he takes to the ball. Took a great angle right there.